I've been reading your magazine for a while, and I think it's about time you step off the sidelines and get in the game. This country is in no shape for sycophants and neutrality. I suggest you start with your primetime programming of the Fox News channel. Wipe it out. You can replace it with my favorite show from the 50s, The Man in the Gray Flannel Suit, starring Jack Webb. It's based on the movie. It didn't last very long, but don't let that scare you. It's well written, and it's one of the pioneers of product placement. I'll paint you a picture. Premiere episode, there's a subplot involving a serial killer. He pops up from behind the backseat of a 55 Chevy to strangle the secretary. The camera cuts to the killer's fist. He's gripping piano wire, slides to the wrist. A long, clear shot of that year's Timex watch for men. The secretary, gasping for air, reaches for her neck. Timex watch for ladies. There's another scene in the exact same episode. Jack Webb and his wife, she's played by Donna Reed, are arguing intensely in their kitchen. Donna Reed's all teary-eyed and warbling, "I can't even stand to be around my mother anymore. Every time I see her and my father, and how happy they are together, I feel nothing but shame because I can't even stand to fuck you without getting sick to my stomach." And Jack Webb is pissed, speechless. He's looking around the kitchen like he's about to whack her with a frying pan, but he points at the dishes. "Last week, when you were washing the dishes, you looked plain ugly." And he picks up this little white jar, and he turns to the camera and he says, "You haven't been using your Brill brand vanishing cream." What I'm giving you, TV Guide, with this perfect blend of innovative drama and bold consumerism, is a strategy that enables you to embrace progress without being accused of liberalism or communism or socialism or whatever the latest buzzword is. And it doesn't have to be a complete sweep. Let Bill O'Reilly keep his show. We need a good hour of hate for the good people. I watch it and it builds my frustration and I scream at it and it's gone, and I watch it and it builds up again and I scream at it and it's gone, and I watch it and it builds up again and I scream at it and it's gone, and I watch it and it builds up again and I scream at it and it's gone. No. Dear Highlights magazine, when they toss you in Statesville prison to rot your guts, the idea is that you're to lose all control, so you gain it back slowly, first by determining when you swallow and how you breathe and close your eyes and brush your teeth and take a piss and read a book, and then build a training plan. When you build your body, and when you are in solitary, you're king of your lonely, lonely, gain slowly, emperor of the air I breathe. Dear TV Guide, in response to your response, I understand that you guys simply report programming and don't actually program shows. But that doesn't mean you don't control it. That kind of thinking is out of date. You've been in the reality-based community for too long. We create our own reality these days. Let the rest of the world adjust. American Spectator. Regarding your beauty queen who made the statement, "In my America," and then she said whatever she fucking said. I wonder if she heard the classic American protest song, "This land is your land, this land is my land," and thought it was about two sides playing tug of war. Not too long ago, I recall one of your other fucking favorites making the statement, "Free speech has its consequences." There is propaganda so deep now, it takes truth and flips it tail, invents controversy, projects fear and speech used to silence. TV gets swirling in some maniac's brain, and he walks into a church and puts a bullet in an abortionist's brain, and the nervous meat is murder. I revoke my liberal card. Labels are as dead as democracy. Free speech has consequences, and we can't go around giving beauty queens the right to vote anymore.
Shit happens.
Dear Highlights magazine, in reference to your latest installment of Goofus and Gallant, I myself have an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other, and they are in constant collaboration. If everything is politics, then love is politics, and I murdered someone over love, then I am a political prisoner, an emperor in exile. Democracy is clearly expired. My cock is the size of a brand new system of rule. one that embraces a devil and an angel in constant collaboration.
Right on.
Dear Newsweek, in reference to your recent Dick Takes Manhattan by Howard Flyman, there have been recent policy decisions handed to me down from God. To Howard Flyman. I hate myself for becoming all that I despise, but we live in an empire and we create our own reality. Free speech is not allowed for those who have in the past or present condemned free speech. Let's face it, nothing has come from this man's mouth that was not a swarm of locusts and fire and terrible breath. Cheerleaders of chaos who make no apologies for their rah-rah pacified by pork injections, the devotees of our president start reaching for their pitchforks for I demand discreet Texas silence. This isn't happening. This isn't actually. Dear American Spectator, in your May 2009 issue, in an article entitled Free Speech in Europe, a Roger Scruton stated, free speech is not about permitting only those voices of which you approve. It is about understanding your own beliefs and the beliefs of those who disagree with you. It is about creating the public space in which truth and falsehood can openly contend for their following. So you believe falsehood deserves a following. And then you said even the most fervent Democrat will admit that the right to free speech should not be used to stir up social conflict or destroy civil peace. In that same issue, one of your brethren states, the theory of global warming is not valid. Global warming is not about politics or about power. It's not about science. Is that a falsehood? What kind of mess is that intended to stir up? You can see that free speech crap. You can sell that. I'm sorry. You can sell that free speech crap to Europe. It doesn't fly here anymore. Democracy was lit on fire and beat to death with sticks about 8 years ago. You people shit on the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, habeas corpus. You deliberately lied to advocate a war that killed thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands. The right wing of this country should no longer be respected or even heard, but sliced open and examined and investigated to prevent further forms from being developed. Your people have fucked themselves beyond capacity and reason. God has knighted me, Prince President, Emperor Ming. I have adopted your modes tenfold, excommunicate you from the face of our property to the swirling dank toilet of your own doing. My invasions are rational. I am Napoleon, but tall. I sport a Van Dyke beard, a velvet collared cape, and a slouch hat, and make transatlantic voyages to club meetings under assumed names. I have a sharpened cane. You can measure my abilities once they are balls deep in your mouth, and the only sound allowed from your lips will be a gag and a drool. You offer nothing but murder. Your voice is no longer required, it is void.
Nice.